Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast, week 2. I'm so excited to be here. I hope you enjoyed week 1. Just to introduce myself for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Emma. I'm a women's health and fitness coach. I specialize in plant-based nutrition and training women over 40 who want to get strong and live long. So today we are diving into a hot topic that's been making waves in the media. I mean, literally, I can't turn the TV on and I can't open a newspaper without there being something about weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. So today I thought I'd do a brief podcast on the pros and the cons, give you my opinion, and hopefully help some of you that are either taking these drugs or thinking about it, or maybe know someone who are thinking about it as well. So this episode is not about bashing or glorifying any of these medications. It's about giving you a balanced view, and especially if you're a woman over 40 navigating menopause, changing hormones and stubborn fat and slowing metabolism. There's a lot of buzz and confusion around these drugs, and hopefully I can just put to bed some of the pros and cons, and maybe allow you to make a more informed decision if you're thinking about taking them. Because at the end of the day, the choices you make really, really do have an impact on your long-term health and well-being. And at the end of the day, that is what I'm here for, is to look after your health and your well-being. So let's dig in. Let's just start with the basics. So a little bit about drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. They're known as GL1 receptor and agonists, and they were originally developed to help people with type 2 diabetes. So they have been around for quite a while, but the studies found with the people that were taking them for diabetes, that they led to significant weight loss, and that's how they made their way into the mainstream market as a weight loss solution. But it seems like they've just sort of suddenly appeared, and now everyone is talking about them. So many people are taking them. So they work by mimicking a hormone called GLP-1, which helps regulate blood sugar, it slows down our digestion, and it gives signals to our brain that we are full, and therefore we kind of eat less. We have that food noise that everyone talks about is less, and we can manage our weight more easily. So it sounds like a dream solution, right? But it does come with some side effects, shall we say. So why are so many people using them? And I completely understand the appeal of taking these drugs. If you're in your 40s or your 50s, maybe you've tried everything. You've tried calorie counting, you've got yourself a trainer, you've tried keto, intermittent fasting, hours of cardio, but the scales just won't budge. In fact, they go in the opposite direction. Your hormones are shifting, your metabolism isn't quite what it used to be. And let's be honest, the society pressure that is put upon us as women to look a certain way really, really loads the pressure on us to lose weight and be slim, in inverted commas. And as we know, these drugs, they promise rapid results, and they often get rapid results. And for some people, they can really, really help them. But as with anything that causes fast weight loss, there are some trade-offs. So let's just chat about those first. But let's talk about the positives first. So for women who are classed as obese or with conditions like insulin resistance or even PCOS, these drugs can genuinely help improve your health markers. So it's not just weight, it's also about blood sugar, inflammation, and even blood pressure. They can really, really help. And they can also give someone a jump start when it comes to weight loss. And especially if you've been feeling stuck and you just need that little extra push and you feel like nothing's worked, these can really help get you started. And in some cases, they can actually help the relationship with food by reducing the cravings, but only if used thoughtfully and with support. And I have to really stress the support part of this, because there's a lot of private ways of getting hold of these drugs. and there often isn't the support to go with it. And the support is one of the most important things, because if you don't take these drugs whilst making other lifestyle changes, they can have a real detrimental effect on your long-term health, which we'll go into right now. So here's where we need to be really, really clear. These drugs are not without their downsides. First of all, they have many side effects for many women. So things like nausea, bloating, fatigue, constipation, and even hair thinning. So not fun side effects. But secondly, and probably the most important one, just let me take a swig of water. And one that I really, really have banged on about in the past, is when you lose weight quickly, you're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle too. And actually, on these drugs, you're losing a huge amount of muscle. And ladies, we need our muscle. We need our muscle. It's so important as we enter older age, but especially during peri and postmenopause. Muscle is what supports your metabolism. It protects your bones, gives you strength. So when you're older, you can live a healthy and active life, and it keeps you looking lean and toned. So it's so important that we protect the muscle that you already have. And I'm guessing that if you're in your 40s or 50s, you've already lost a significant amount of muscle, because that's just the natural way of things are, unless you're doing something to maintain that muscle, which by the time we get to our 40s or 50s, we normally think, oh, I should be doing something to maintain my muscle. And then we start, but we've actually lost a significant amount already. So if you're not strength training and if you're not eating properly with enough protein, whilst on these medications, you could lose a significant amount of muscle mass, and that can make maintaining your weight harder in the long term. And also, we have to think about long term when we reach old age, where muscle is so important. It's probably the most important thing when we get into our 70s and 80s and beyond, because muscle is the thing that's going to keep you strong. It's going to keep you balanced. It's going to stop you falling. It's going to enable you to get up off the chair, get out of the toilet, get in and out of bed, and be able to dress yourself. All those things we don't think about when we're relatively young and active. Muscle is the key thing to living a long and active life when we're older. So another con when it comes to these drugs is when you stop the drugs, many people just regain the weight. And why is that? Well, it's because the habits, the mindset, the muscle that supports sustainable weight loss, they just haven't been built. So unless you are working hard alongside taking these drugs to maintain and even build muscle, and to change your eating habits and your mindset when it comes to food and activity, you're just going to put it all back, because the food noise creeps back as the dose of whatever it is that you're taking goes down. It comes back stronger, and once you're off it, you're back to normal, unless you have really instilled those new habits into your mind and your brain. And just lastly, these medications are really expensive. So long term, it's probably not feasible for most of the people taking them to be on them forever. And I personally wouldn't suggest that you do that. But that's another thing to take into account, is the expense of them. So some of the pros, some of the cons. Let's say you decide to use one of these medications, or maybe you're already on it. So what should you be doing to really maximize the benefits of being on them? So the first thing I say is you still need to eat properly. This means high quality protein with every single meal. I mean, naturally, you don't want to eat so much, because you lose that food noise, you lose the appetite that you had previously. But it's really important that you eat regular meals and that you're eating high protein meals every single time, and also including lots of things like colorful vegetables, healthy fats, and also the right carbs, especially around your workouts. You have to strength train. This is a non-negotiable for me. I mean, if you didn't strength train before because you didn't like it, or you couldn't be bothered, or whatever the reason, it's a non-negotiable when you're on these drugs. 100% you have to be doing some sort of resistance training because you are losing muscle at a very fast rate. And it's really important that you maintain what you have and hopefully you actually build more muscle. It's not optional. Lifting weights helps you retain the muscle while you lose fat, keeps your metabolism higher, and it supports your mental health and also your bone density, which are all at risk when you're on these drugs. So you also need to work on your habits, your eating mindfully, understanding your hunger and fullness cues, and managing your stress and sleep. So getting all your ducks in a row. So when you reduce the Ozempic or the Wegovy, whatever it is, your mindset is in a good place that you automatically have created those habits. And I always talk about habit. Habits are really important to form in any sort of weight loss journey. Excuse me. So it's really, really important that you set your body up for the best outcome once you come off these drugs. And that's fueling your body right and moving your body right. So, excuse me while I have a quick drink. So my message to you, I guess, is that weight loss drugs can be used as a tool, but they're definitely not a replacement for a healthy lifestyle. And before considering them, I would ask yourself, what are your real goals? Is it just about the number on the scale, or is it about feeling strong, confident, energetic, and vibrant? Also, if you're only looking to lose like a couple of pounds, then these drugs are not for you. These drugs are for people who are seriously struggling to lose significant amounts of weight for their long-term health. It's not a vanity drug where you just want to get from a size 12 to a size 8. That is not what they're used for, because they have got some serious side effects. So if you're just using it as a vanity project, I'm sorry, but for me, that's not what they're for, and they shouldn't be issued to people. They are for people with serious health conditions or people that cannot lose weight that would benefit from losing weight for their long-term health. So I guess what I'm saying is you can absolutely use these medications if they're appropriate for you and you're under medical supervision. Always do it under medical supervision with support. But please, please, please don't rely on them alone. Use them as a bridge and not as a crutch. And make sure you get all the other things that we've discussed, in your bag. So I guess to wrap up, weight loss drugs like Ozempic, they can play a role for some women, but they work best when combined with proper nutrition, strength training, and lifestyle change. And if you can't do that on your own, then now's the time to get some support with that, either with the person that's prescribing the drugs to you. You should be getting proper support in terms of nutrition, strength training, etc., or get yourself a coach who can help you, because this is the most important time to get a coach or some sort of support if you're considering taking these drugs, because otherwise you're just wasting your time, your money, and your health. Trust me. So I would love any questions from anybody who is thinking about taking them, is on them. Tell me your experience of what you've experienced, any side effects. Have you had a good experience? Have you taken them and come off them and been successful in keeping the weight off? I'd love to hear your story. And if you have any questions in terms of, you're thinking about taking them or you are on them and you need some extra support, then drop me a message and we can have a chat. So you can head to my Instagram account, which is at Emma Souza Nutrition, or my website, which is www.emmasouza.co.uk. You can learn more about me, my coaching, what I do. And if you want one of my free guides on how to eat healthy and train for longevity, then drop me a message and I can send you something through. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If this episode helped you, please share it with a friend or leave a review. Give me a like. Take care, and remember, your body deserves more than a quick fix. It deserves to feel amazing every single day. So make sure you're not rushing for a quick fix, and that you're taking into consideration the long-term health of your body. Okay. So it was lovely to do week 2 of my podcast. If you want any topics covered, just drop me a comment below and we can definitely cover them in the near future. Have a great day, everyone, and I will speak to you soon.